Welcome to the Honest Designers Show, your transparent look into life as a modern designer. My name's Tom and I'm the founder at designcuts.com, and this week I'm joined by fellow Brit and amazing hand letterer Ian Barnard, American retro design enthusiast Dustin Lee, and the incredibly talented South African illustrator Lisa Glantz. In this week's episode, we take a tongue-in-cheek look at the negative aspects of being a designer. That's right, we're looking at why being a designer sucks. Just to be clear, all four of your hosts love what they do more than anything. However, once in a blue moon, it can help to let off some steam and have a good old-fashioned rant. We hope that you don't take this episode too seriously, but you may find some points that you can relate to. Let's get into the show. So this week we are gonna get negative because we're gonna have a moan about the negative elements of being a designer, and we always look at the positive sides, and we have done for many episodes. So this week we're gonna let rip with all of the bits that suck about being a designer, and we said before this call. We're going to try and keep this down to a normal length, but it could probably be a long one because as many things as we love about what we do, I feel like there's endless areas of frustration and difficulties and stuff that at the end of the day, you kind of just have to laugh about because it wouldn't happen in any other vocation.
Can I start off?
Yes, jump in the gun. Ian, take it away.
One of the biggest things that I can never get away from is not being able to switch off. So like someone, you maybe a client says, "Could you do this for us?" and it's like they've just started a machine. It might be like 5 to 5, and then all that evening, all that night, can't get sleep because you're just churning and churning and churning, and it's just like I just want to switch my brain off, and I can't.
It feels like you need to charge him for that time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just last night, I had this thing where it's like magnets. Like I'd walk out of the office, walk up the stairs, get about 4 steps up, turn around, go back to the office. I repeated that like, no joke, probably 5 to 10 times.
Yeah.
So are you talking about the initial brainstorming? Because for me, it's when I start the work and I'm a good way through it and I have to wrap it up. I can't go away and leave this unfinished thing. And it will be hours and hours. Like I'll be going blind by the end of it. And I just, like you say, I can't walk away from it because it's like, it's so close. And you don't want to leave this kind of half done thing in case, especially when you're not blocked. You found your flow and you're feeling inspired and you don't know when that's going to happen again to this extent. So you're like, I'm just going to keep powering through with this.
That's so true. There's nothing worse. And you got all these chores.
Yeah. Like you seriously, you don't want to let go of that feeling. And so it's definitely not a 9 to 5 thing.
I'm curious, do you have a certain time in the day where your creative jet stream is at its peak?
Yes, about like 2 a.m.
For real?
Yeah, seriously. And I hate it because now I run a proper company and I need to be in the office at a normal time. But the whole time when my formative years of design, when I was learning it and hacking around with it and doing early work, I would routinely go to bed at like 5 or 6 in the morning. And I would stay up all night with my eyes like really hurting.
Yeah.
Like in a terrible, actually, I don't know how I'm not blind, but I'd be in a pitch black room where the only light would be the monitor glaring in my face, and it was
that's bad.
really close to my face, and I'd just be up not sleeping and doing that to the point where my parents would intervene and be like, "We're kind of worried about you, Tom. Like, do we need to have a talk? You need to get out in the fresh air and play with the other children."
You can talk to us, Tom. Tell us what's going on, buddy.
Yeah.
Little guy.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. I'm the same. I also struggle shutting off. In fact, I don't know if you guys have experience where you wake up in the middle of the night and you think of something and you think, that would be so cool for this and this and this, and then that's it. There's no ways you're going to fall asleep again because all you want to do is get up and go and do it. But that's just ridiculous.
Do you not have a pad beside your bed where you like something? Quickly, I need to draw a bunny. or whatever it might be. A bunny in a tuxedo.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay, thanks for that
Do it,
idea.
get on it.
Ian.
Oh no, that's every week. Every week I give you ideas.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's
seriously,
awesome.
a bunny in a tuxedo, another one in a wedding dress. That'd be cool. Um,
Have you done a wedding specific, like, animals and weddings, like
No,
outfits
I
generating?
haven't. No.
See
Well,
there, that's a winner
you go.
because people love
That's an idea.
animals and they love weddings. So
together.
Fuse those.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else sucks about being a designer?
I'll bring something up that I don't deal with nearly as much anymore, but I remember when I was doing freelance work, it happened all the time and drove me bananas. You work so hard to make something great. You're so proud of it. You bring it to the client, and then they basically, metaphorically, grab your hands and make you smash it and crush it and destroy it until it's something you're ashamed of that you can't post anywhere. And then they're like, that looks about right. Send the files over.
Yes. That's nothing worse than that.
actually, in relation to that, they send you an example from Google Images that's like the worst thing you've ever seen,
Yes.
and you have to
Please
recreate
make it like that. Yeah.
and you're like, no.
Or where they sit on your. This is kind of what you said, Dustin, but I remember feeling like a performing monkey, where they'd sit on your shoulder and be like, "Move it there, change that color," and it's the fact they don't know the software, but they're pretty much designing through you, like you're some kind of tool where your hand goes where they tell you. Like to that extent, literally, it's like move that cursor up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you're there like this is when I was starting out, so you can't be picky about your clients, and you're sat there kind of getting this nervous eye twitch, but you want the work, and beggars can't be choosers.
And because it's artistic, it feels personal. So it feels like someone's like gutting you slowly. Like you've shared yourself and what you love, and then they're like, here, let me get inside of what you do and just destroy it. And by the end of it, your soul has been ripped out and you just want to go drink a nice cold beer. I don't know.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I like the drama being conjured.
Yeah, that was quite an imagery.
All right, here's another one which we touched on before. Everyone being like, "Oh, how's it worth that much?" Like, how can you justify your costs?
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's horrible.
I could do that.
I could do
I
that.
can make a
My
little
son
logo,
could do
or like
that. He's got that at a computer at home. He could do that.
No,
Oh, really?
actually, the one is I got my wife to do it,
Oh,
and this is
yeah.
what she's come up with.
Yes. Oh, that was the worst. And
Oh,
that's
here's
horrible.
something that's horrible. I know you guys have experienced this. You submit your work to your client, and then there's the purgatory between when you submit it and when they respond back to you, when you don't know if they're going to tear you apart or tell you it's brilliant. And you're
Yes,
just
which could be a
waiting.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
It's
like it's
horrible.
almost like there's this like this secret rule they have where like they know they need to wait 72 hours before they tell you to make sure you start to starve and lose sleep before they like write
It's
back.
like if you like someone and you've texted them and you haven't heard back. It's like they're toying with you.
And it's horrible. I remember when I was, you just reminded me, Tom, when I was magazine art director, one of my jobs was to design the cover, obviously. And that was a design by committee. Literally every single member of the whole magazine would stand around me and the computer screen and give their 2 cents. It was the most horrendous experience every single month. But it's just something I had to go through. I mean, it's horrible.
It didn't feel like really fulfilling teamwork.
No.
There's no I in
plans. It's horrible. I just spent the whole time justifying why that is a bad idea and this is a better idea. I mean, it's exhausting. It really is exhausting.
Okay, on that note, how about when you're on revision number 185?
Oh, man.
Now we're getting here. Or if you end up back where you started and they're like, oh, actually, I've decided I do like that initial approach.
Yeah.
That's probably worse than doing a load of revisions and coming up with something different. Just going round in a circle.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chasing your tail, yeah.
Well, the worst was when clients don't read the copy and you've like made changes to the same copy about 20 times. I mean, didn't you pick it up the first time? It's just weird.
Something I struggled with web design, and I'm really glad I don't do it anymore, is that the fact that they'd get you to design a website and then they would not be able to deliver it, the whole copy, and so it's never finished.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
there's this sort of thing where you can't invoice for the whole money because the whole job hasn't been finished, and they're just like dragging their heels
Oh, it's terrible.
and yeah, it's just or you finish it and they go, I just need to tweak that, or can we just change that? And you're like,
Yeah.
because
It
it's
never ends.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing about digital media is it's just constantly able to edit it. Whereas I prefer sometimes actual stuff that's being printed because then it's finished with, it's done with. You can have a reprint, but that obviously costs money. So
Yeah,
I think when it's printed, it's cemented and you don't have to worry about it.
exactly.
Or if you're freelance, then like all your friends and family are like,
Oh,
well, he doesn't really work. He or she just hangs out and they draw sometimes. Everyone behind your back, he doesn't really work. He doesn't have a real job. Doing that thing with the quotations with my fingers right now. You guys experience that at all? Like,
totally. And my worst is because I was a designer, you get friends of friends of friends who wants like a logo for nothing. Like, she could do it quickly for you for nothing. That they used to irk me. Seriously.
Have you guys ever had it where it's like, yeah, my cousin is a designer. He'll be able to fix your computer.
You're an IT expert as default.
Yeah.
yes.
And I'm horrendous with like anything outside of design. I'm terrible with computers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Like someone will be like, "Can you come fix my cable? It's not working. I can't get Netflix onto my TV." And you think, neither can I. I can't get Netflix onto my TV either.
Design me a new one.
Oh, that's horrible.
How about not getting paid?
Oh,
You guys
wow.
had that?
And then having to ask them to pay you. That's the worst. That's so awkward. I mean, like, did you not get the invoice? Why haven't you paid me? It's horrible.
I think it's that thing people recognize. If to go back to Ian's best friend in the whole wide world, the builder, if you've got like actual labor and materials and stuff like that, that's easier for people to work out.
Yeah.
But it's kind of this, they can't quantify it. So they're like, oh yeah, you've been fiddling around on your little software. Good for you.
That is a hell of an imagery I've just had there.
And that really, that becomes easier not to pay. You're like, oh, well, if I don't pay you, you'll still be fiddling around on your software. It's not like, you've gone and spent a load on physical materials.
It's true. It's so true.
I think everyone has a different aspect of what graphic design is, and obviously, older generations have graphic design used to be a thing where you scalpels and placing stuff in it. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, you do typesetting then," and I'm like, no. That was part of it back then, but it's not really anymore.
No, it's changed.
Yeah, it's there's sort of jobs. There's part of the sort of graphic design industry that's not there anymore, where you used to have to expose it to light and cut out bits of text and maneuver it over. And I think people still think that that's how the industry is still, but it's all digital now and completely different.
It must be lovely, as much as I like doing something different, to be at a party and someone says, "What do you do?" and you tell them, and they're just like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, I get that." Instead of
I don't think I've ever
having
had
to
that.
explain it. No, I never have. Like,
Yeah.
It's not normal that you need to work on like an elevator pitch for polite conversation.
What you mean when you do tell people, they say, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
Like they don't realize. Like you feel like you want to be like, wait, you don't really get it. Like it's pretty cool because I feel like that, and then people are like, that's nice. Anyways, where's the nacho cheese?
I tell you what. Since doing calligraphy, that's because I rather than say, "Oh, I'm a graphic designer," I now say I'm a calligrapher, which gets probably.
I like the intonation on that. A calligrapher.
That one's got to give you more crap than the other one.
Yes,
Because people got to be like, "Can you do our wedding invitations?"
What the hell's that?
Actually, yeah, that is what.
Yeah, that's so easy to undermine. Oh, you write away with your little pens, do you? Like...
You just doodle all day.
Oh, that's precious. That's so cute.
No, actually, the first thing they say is, "Oh, my handwriting is rubbish as well."
That's classic. Oh, that's so funny.
But half the people, calligraphy, the actual word, some people don't actually know what it is. So I just go, oh, it's fancy writing.
Well, that is what it is. Like, isn't the Latin for calligraphy just mean he who does
Beautiful.
fancy writing? He or she who does fancy
Or
writing?
it means beautiful words or letters, or beautiful writing.
Oh, I was joking about the Latin part. I don't know what it means at all.
Well, it means I think it's beautiful writing.
Oh, okay.
Which,
Nice. You learn
I suppose
something
it
new
sums
every
it up
day.
quite well.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about, okay, this is one of the ones that I feel like is the worst about design is when you do get the answer back from the client or whoever, and they say something like, I could do that, or my son could do that, or we're going to pass. I think that my 3-year-old nephew could do that. The overwhelming, crushing, depressing sadness that you have to live with where you want to crawl in bed and take a Klonopin or something and just Valium and just stay in bed and be sad for like 24 hours. Is that, anyone else got that? Any takers? Is that just me?
Oh, what, the crippling psychological doubt? Yeah, big time. Big time.
It's like personally crushing. Like, I used to work at a bank. If someone was like, you know what, you didn't really open my account right, and I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't open my account right when I got that checking account, I'd go home and be like, whatever, and make myself my TV dinner when I was a bachelor, right? But now if someone said that, like, I would be so sad. You'd feel like they basically told you that you were worthless.
What I don't like is how subjective it is.
It's so
because
difficult.
Yeah, like if you're a taxi driver, it's like, okay, I drove you from that point to that point and I got paid. That's pretty simple. It's like you either did the job or you didn't.
Yeah.
And as a designer, it's like it's literally, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Like you could get any one of 5,000 reactions from the client and you don't have that much control. Like we talk about all the stuff you can do. You can do questionnaires for the client and due process and, develop your work over time. You can do all that stuff. And at the end of the day, it's still like a lottery of like, oh, what's it going to be?
Yeah. Did you guys ever find like you spent a lot of your time justifying your work? That to me was my
and it's
biggest
exhausting, right?
Man.
It's really exhausting. You just want to be, you just want to get like a good job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just want to get an email that says, you killed it, send the files on over, we'll get you that check.
I mean,
Never.
that's. Have you ever had that? I've never.
I've had that once.
I have personally written that to a designer that had worked for me. I was like, great job. Where do I pay you? But
Nice. And that was
probably
the
framed
first
that.
time he'd ever heard that.
I actually got that from one of my first major hand lettering pieces from
Cool.
a brand, an actual brand. And so
Wow.
then what happened was that every time I then went and worked for another brand, I thought this was going to be easy peasy. And that was literally just a one-off. And then it was
the deviation, like the rare exception to the rule.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it peaked
man.
right at the beginning and then just went downhill.
Yeah.
Beginner's luck. You hit the
Yeah, for
cool
sure.
person.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, I've got another one for you. It sucks how low the barrier to entry is.
Mm-hmm.
The what? The
Because
what entry? Sorry, I missed that.
The barrier to entry.
Oh yes.
Because everyone and their mum is a graphic designer
Oh,
in brackets.
man.
Like everyone, and there's so much noise. It's incredibly hard to stand out, and I think every year it probably gets harder.
Mm.
Here's a question for you: would you take a small exam to be accredited? Would that, do you think, if you had that sort of thing, like people who do gas have something accredited, so you trust them?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to do an exam to sort of, weed out the people that just think they can just jump on it and call themselves a designer?
If it was universally recognized, then yes, but otherwise, no. Not just to have it attached to my name for the sake of my ego. It's like we've talked about, people don't get hired because of their degrees generally. But yeah, if that was the universal thing, like you had to have one, otherwise you couldn't call yourself a designer, then yeah, I absolutely would.
Well, there is an accreditation that you can do. You just say, oh, cool, can I see your portfolio? And then if the next thing they say is, well, it's not really completely done yet, like I'm still working on some stuff, that's like, that means they don't have the accreditation. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like if you say, can I see your portfolio, and someone then like starts
Giving
you know.
reasons why that it doesn't exist.
yes. Like that's generally a sign, not always to be fair, but it can be
Yeah.
a red flag.
No, it's true. It's
I-
true.
We've touched on a few bits in the earlier episodes, I think, about the psychological element, but it really is not that great for your mental health. It's kind of like the perfect cocktail of insecurities
Yeah.
and relying on the opinions of others too much. And it's just a mess.
Yeah, but
Like
the
at
upside,
times it's a real mess.
the upside is that it's.
Wait, this isn't about the upside, Lisa.
I
Yeah,
know,
no,
but
we're
it's
being
just
purely
saying that particular
pessimistic.
thing. At least you learn about yourself. And
How
you know.
dare you come in here with your positive attitudes?
you and your the secret positive attitude.
Bunnies
Yeah,
in
get out,
tuxedos.
Lisa. Just get out. Right?
So I'm assuming you guys have this, or maybe I'll just discover that I'm the only person like this. Sometimes when I say like, how's everything going? And then someone starts listing off tons of amazing successes, I feel really sad and not good inside and wish that they didn't have so much success. Like you'll be like, how's it going? And they'll be like, oh, good. Like I just got this job doing some stuff for Target. Then right after that, I'm going to go be the keynote speaker at, whatever this is and that. And then I just got a book deal. And then you're just like,
You
you
said
feel
were
so
happy
worthless
for me,
inside
man.
and so empty inside.
Oh, shame, Dustin.
It is just me.
If I could.
I knew if I was vulnerable
Yeah,
with you, you would crush me like a Aunt Lisa.
No, you know what? It depends. If it was something that I was aspiring to, then yeah, I'd be like jealous. That's like just so not fair. But yeah, if it's not really anything I don't want to do, then that's good on them. I don't know.
The thing is, I do that. The first thing is like, oh, I'm jealous of them, or how could they? Then I realise I'm just complaining about me not putting in the work,
It's true.
There is that.
I suppose the problem with me is that I look at them and I go, oh, how can they get all the luck? Or blah blah blah. Then I realise I've got children, which I'm really blessed with, and that I have a different lifestyle to them. They can work
Exactly.
all hours of the day. I can't, and I'm like, actually, I love spending time with my children. So actually, I should stop complaining.
Yeah.
Ian, that sounds an awful lot like optimism, and you know how we feel about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, I've done it.
Stamp that
Sorry,
out. No,
maybe you can bleep it out.
You're going out with Lisa as well. Leave Dustin and me just to have
Okay,
a
so
proper
we're both
moan.
yellow carded for that one.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
one more, we're off the call.
Let's try to keep this negative, guys, okay?
So, so
I've got one.
go on.
Getting files from people who think they're designers, sorry, and having to fix them because they got no clue on how to use the software. That was my worst, especially in
Where
design.
it's like a mess of layers and stuff.
No, because I used to do a lot of text work, so I knew InDesign inside and out, style sheets, how to use them, all that kind of stuff. But it clearly, especially when it came from an ad agency, because I think they do most of the work in Illustrator. So when some appy used to do the work in InDesign, it was always a mess. No style sheets, no margins, no guides, no, all that stuff. I mean, they used to do things manually, number pages, and it was bizarre stuff, like stuff I couldn't get my head around. But anyway, so yeah, that used to be my pet hate. I don't know.
I used to take solace in the fact that I knew how to do that stuff, so then you could give it back in like a way better
quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian, do you want the red card?
Oh,
Because again,
sorry.
Ah! Yeah.
I've got one.
go on.
Being a designer and not being able to spell.
or just at least use spell check. Yeah, no, people don't know how to use that.
Because I've had a calendar go to print, like a big one you stick on your wall, and on big letters on the front was calendar spelt wrong.
That is
Hey, I have a similar to one that. Okay, so I have a sister-in-law where we have this deal where anytime any of us go somewhere, we get the other one a mug from that place. So she always brings me one, and I always forget and don't bring her one. So when I saw her last time, I just got back from Georgia for Creative South. So I got a blank mug and I got a marker and I've been practicing my hand lettering, so I'm okay. So I was like, I'm going to hand letter Georgia onto this mug. So I went into the room quietly and I, spent 10 minutes carefully hand lettering the word Georgia, and I bring it out and gave it to her and she goes, "What is Georgia?" That was
So
amazing.
you hate that, especially as we like quite proud of it as well.
Yeah.
I thought I did such a great job.
I tell you what, I've had to do that on many an Instagram post where I've posted it and someone's gone, I think you spelt the word wrong. I'm like, oh, down it goes.
I think that happens to all designers because you start to focus on so much on how things look that you stop paying attention to words. And they just
Yeah, you
become
don't look at
blocks
them.
of shapes, kind of.
I'm not even aware anymore just because I'm in it every day, but in Photoshop and Illustrator and so on, have they got spell check built in now?
Illustrator does. I don't know Photoshop.
I'm not sure.
But the thing is, it's when a word can be spelt either way is the difficult thing. So, lots of new words coming out and, stuff like that. And I think, and there's Americanisms as well, or American English divide that can sometimes cause problems.
The Z's and the
Yeah,
S's. My
There's
favorite.
a lot of words that you guys spelled on over there.
I think, yeah, especially with our language, it's older than yours.
So let's get back to some really valuable moaning for the listeners, because that's why we're here after all.
Do you still get sent publisher documents?
Jeez, no.
Old school.
Or Word documents with I think there's like
With their logo in it, yeah.
Yeah, like lots of memes.
Although that does make me think all the web designers in the house listening along, browser compatibility, Internet Explorer, need I say more?
Is that still a problem?
Yeah, it's always a problem.
Wow.
But then you've got mobile devices now as well, so I suppose it's
That's horrible.
Yeah, it was like backwards compatibility in mobile devices. And that does apply not just to the coders, but I always did like the front end kind of actual visuals for it. And it's like, oh, okay, so now we've got this great thing called responsive design. It means I need to do 4 times the amount of design work for a web design to have every version. And guess what? The client's not going to pay you 4 times as much.
No.
it's when the logo just disappears and you're like, where's it gone? It was there in Chrome and Safari.
Yep.
Well, staying on that, so I always feel like CSS is the language that is the most confusing. There's no logic to it. Who knows why some things work? My brother, I think I said in the last episode, is a coder, whatever you want to call him. And he's like, CSS is the most confusing of everything I work in because you just never know what's going to happen. It's a lot of it's just guessing and throwing things out. I mean, I'm sure there's people that are geniuses at it, but
I think
I hate
because
CSS.
there's a hierarchy, it's if someone above you says, "Oh, actually, I want it this color," it overwrites that other one.
Yeah.
So and then you end up with this multiple. It's sort of like I don't know who's talking to me. There's lots of voices, and I don't know.
Well, and sometimes it feels like a secret password. Like I'll go into an inspector and you figure out kind of what you need, and then it turns out you need this class, then following this class in that particular order, exclude this class that was in the line, and then it will it's the magic password that will turn the line blue instead of black. And you're like, man,
So
7 hours of my day gone.
I'll tell you another thing that sucks about more of the design side of things, how fast it moves. I mean, yes, it keeps you on your toes, but you couldn't go traveling for 6 months because you come back and the world of design is different somehow.
Yeah.
Or you spend a bunch of time. I'll tell you what it's like. It's like the gym, which is the most pointless thing ever because it's like you could literally destroy yourself getting in shape and then you stop doing it and take it easy. And then like a year later, you're a mess.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like
I think it's not even a year, like a few weeks and all that.
I was going to say, it takes it's like 3 weeks.
That may be because, am I the oldest one here?
No, I am.
Okay. You don't look it.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
you silver-tongued
Oh,
devil.
sorry, that was another
Oh,
positive
that's so
aspect.
sweet.
Yeah.
Slide down.
No, we're being negative. You look awful, Lisa.
What's going on with that fringe?
Yeah, what did you create that with a portrait creator?
You people are freaks.
Okay, what else, Lisa? You get the next one.
Oh, I'm
What
just
else
trying to think.
sucks
I don't
about
know.
being a designer?
You made me feel positive now.
Oh, there you go.
Is it a
I
burden
have
to
an
try to figure out how to
obsession
spend all the money you make? Like, I feel like sometimes that can be a really heavy burden. Like, they say money makes people unhappy. Is it hard?
You know, I want to take a bet one day and see if you can manage one episode.
It's kind of hard when you've got your level of opulent wealth staring us in the face.
Where do you
every
guys
week.
get this from?
Like,
I thought it
do you
was just an
constantly wonder
animated-
if people are being your friends because of the money or because of who you are?
Yeah, that's got to be tough, actually. That's a
Yeah,
tough
it's
part
real
of being
tough.
a designer.
I thought we were just playing an animated GIF of money falling from the sky, but it's just the wind blowing through
Through Lisa's
Lisa's
room.
house.
That's the best one so far, Ian. Oh my goodness. Oh my word.
Hey, speaking
All right,
of
all right,
negative
that-
problems, the reality is that being a designer, you actually have feast famine thing where some months there's tons of money, some months maybe there's not. There's no guarantee. If
Yeah,
you're
that's
freelancing, and if
rough.
you're working in house, I guess it's not a problem. But
Yeah, the freelance thing is a whole new bundle of negativity, right?
Oh yes.
It's totally unknown, uncharted territory. And also, here's a negative: you need to learn to do everything under the sun.
Absolutely.
So it's like, oh, okay, so my job is that I am the head of marketing, head of sales, the accountant, the designer, like every role under the sun, which, yeah, it can be cool, but you look at some people where they just have a really clearly defined role and just get to do one thing they're good at every day and not worry
Yeah, I
about the other
mean,
stuff. It's like,
I
that
wish
looks nice.
I could spend more time creating and drawing and things like that, but you can't. You have to. You divide it. That's. I must say that is probably one of the most negative parts. It's not.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not great.
I got another negative. We probably
on.
think we're cooler than we actually are.
Oh yes.
I-
Can I just? I can
I-
back that up. But Cliff thinks that we're all a bunch of nerds, and we think that we are just styling. He thinks that we are just one. Yeah, one nerd after the other.
I think I would tend to agree with Cliff. I've come to terms with this over the years. I'm like, it's not cool. Like, what we're not rock stars. I mean, maybe in the podcasting world, but
No, yeah, shame. Poor us.
We've got good voices for radio. Good faces for radio.
yeah, I was gonna say what.
I always, when on the rare occasion when someone I'm meeting asks what I do, I'm really excited to tell them because I think it's so neat, and then they just could care
Blank.
less. It's like,
Yeah.
so, beautiful weather out today, huh?
Yeah, they just didn't get it. Oh,
Yeah, I've
dear.
never once had someone be like, "Oh, tell me more about your deep theories on web design." That is fascinating. It's not dinner party chat, as I would wish. No one cares. You're
And do you-
instantly the person who's going to be
And do you find the more you
ostracized.
try and explain it, the worse it sounds? And
Yes, because I'll be like, I make like, for instance, some brushes for Photoshop so people can like draw things for books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And as you start to explain it, you realize how lame it sounds.
Okay, well, try this. Like, oh, I draw bunnies, like, to sell.
That just sounds insane. You're just like, oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
really? And you make a living doing that?
Yeah, it's where you get the look of pity, where they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well
that's
done
sweet.
you. Keep,
Oh, that's
yeah,
sweet.
keep on trucking."
That's
Yeah.
when they walk away and they whisper to their daughter, that's why you need to pay attention in school, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you ever meet those people at a party or a dinner party, and you're like, "Oh man, like they are. I could talk to them all night. Like they are fascinating. I would love
Yeah.
to be that guy. That would be awesome."
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Tom, you must get it with your web design stuff. That it was that you say, "Oh, I do web design." They go, "Oh, I built a website in Wix." Or
They're like, oh, do
Is
you
that
use
what you use?
Squarespace?
Yes. Oh, my goodness. That is classic. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Or it's not even that. It's always a relative. I've never met the person who's done it themselves. It's always like, oh yeah, my second cousin, little Johnny. He, he loves that stuff. It's like I don't know where to go with that comment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There is
where
nowhere
you
to
want
go.
me to take this
It's
conversation.
just done.
It's like, oh great, like give me his number and we'll go for coffee.
Yeah, it's weird. And also everybody assumes because you're a designer, you know every other designer. So it's like, oh yeah, you must know so and so. Yeah, sure. We all live together in one big house.
It's a bit like me and Tom knowing the Queen because we're from.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I have to admit,
Yeah,
I
we're
do
going
figure
for
that.
tea with Lizzie.
I always figure, oh well, it must just be a quick jaunt for Ian to go visit Tom.
I mean, it is pretty quick.
The thing is, if we had
Well, I'll be damned.
if we had roads like the American roads, then I could get to Tom in about 5 minutes. Because we have country roads and trains that don't actually go on time, it takes about 2 hours.
That is true. That is very, very true. Okay, so to wrap things up, being a designer can suck at times.
Yeah.
It really can, but I think we are going to do an episode on the positive aspects,
It'll
and I
be
feel
much
like we
shorter.
touched on those. Yeah, we'll be like 10 minutes long for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. This stuff's never going to go away. So my advice would be get a group of peers and friends where you can laugh about it, because you're going to need to. When you deal with the sucky client or the ludicrous demands, or your work gets shot to pieces, you need someone to go and laugh about it all with. Otherwise it gets seriously like doom and gloom.
And use it positively, as in a way to engage with people out there and say, look, this is the comment I got today. Did anyone else get that?
Yeah.
So if Lisa still had a folder full of sayings, she could make a whole post full of that. And people love knowing that they're not on their own when it comes to what people say to them.
Yeah. And I'm gonna wrap things there and give Ian a final red card, because we have warned him this episode, and he's tried to end it on an optimistic note. So Ian, unfortunately, is going to be gone. I don't know if he's going to be hosting the next episode with us. He could be down to 3. We need to go away and think about that.
But hey, just to contribute some negative energy to this, maybe wherever this is posted, people can tag it or comment and tell us all the things we missed that are horrible about being designer, and we can really snowball this into a big ball of negative energy.
No, I feel like this is going to get some comments, this one. Like some get a lot more comments than others, and seriously, put your comments below this episode. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode. We hope it didn't put you off designing too much. The bottom line is, no job is perfect, but despite there being a few things to moan about, being a designer is a pretty amazing way to make a living. As always, you can find full show notes for this episode over at honestdesigners.com, or find us over on iTunes by searching for The Honest Designers Show. If today's episode helped you, then it would mean the world to us if you took a moment to leave us a quick review on iTunes, as this is a great way for other creative folk to discover the show. We continue to read every single review, including this one from B30. The Honest Designers Show is my current favourite podcast to listen to in the studio. This isn't just a handful of designers sitting around shooting the breeze. While there is some playful banter between friends, they stay on topic, offering insights, ideas, and practical, useful information to their listeners. As a graphic designer for nearly 20 years in a past life, I often find myself nodding in agreement with points made about working with clients and conducting oneself in a professional manner. Grab a cup of coffee and tune in. You'll be glad you did. Thank you so much, B30. Reviews like that keep us more motivated than ever to put out this show, and we really, really appreciate it. Thanks again to everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next week right here on the Honest Designers Show.